ZeroKey is designed to help you eliminate data rekeying, and we are excited to partner with 27tec to help make this happen. So let's log into ZeroKey and see what you can do. Now, as soon as you log into ZeroKey, you'll land on the home page, and this page allocates quite a bit of real estate towards your usage. Specifically, it tells you how many characters of data you have transferred using ZeroKey, and therefore how many keystrokes you've eliminated. And as a result of this overall figure, it also shows how many keying errors have been prevented. An approximate figure based on research which indicates that for every 100 characters of data manually rekeyed, there are roughly 4 keying errors. Again, this is an approximate figure, but a very important one for the purpose of retaining data integrity. The way you transfer data between systems is of course via the web browser extension, which you'll need to install, and that is covered in a separate video. But when you do successfully install the web browser extension, you'll notice the ZeroKey icon is visible and available to select in the top right hand side of your screen. And once selected, it will open like a sidebar. But before jumping into the functionality itself, let's quickly visit the integrations page, because this is where you'll find all available integrations and connections. And as you can see, for the purpose of this demo, an integration has been set up with 27tec, and also integrations have been set up at random with Transact and Fundment. This means ZeroKey can act as a conduit between these systems. It can, upon your instruction, pull data from one and push data into another. And it's probably worth highlighting that ZeroKey does not store any client data. Instead, it simply transfers data between systems. It does not persist with the data at all. So let's now head into 27tec and demonstrate how ZeroKey could help you with everyday tasks. So within 27tec, and for the purpose of this demonstration, there is an example client imaginatively called example client with mock data included. This means if you open the web browser extension, you'll be able to select 27tec as your source of data, and then search for the clients that you have stored within your 27tec account. In this case, we'll search and select example client. Now, as soon as you select your client, the web browser extension will immediately pull and display all data relating to your chosen client. This includes everything from basic client details to any savings or investments they may have. Basically, fact-find data. You have the option to expand each section and also copy to clipboard any individual item of data. So basically, ZeroKey is available wherever you decide to work, providing you with super easy access to your client's data. But what we want to focus on is within the Actions tab. Now, an action is essentially an instruction which, when selected, instructs ZeroKey to pull data from one system and push it into another. So rather than rekeying data into a third-party system, you can instead use ZeroKey to transfer the required data, and therefore reduce the effort down to only a single click of the mouse. In this case, you can use ZeroKey to pre-populate an application within Transact. You'll have the option to pre-populate either a single or a joint application, and as soon as you make your selection, you'll be asked to assign an advisor. And once you've assigned an advisor and click Continue, ZeroKey will immediately pull all necessary data from your 27tec account for your chosen client and start pushing this data into Transact. And there we go, 363 characters of data have been transferred into Transact, and the application has been successfully pre-populated. And as you can see, the fields on stage 1 have been pre-populated with client names and dates of birth, and as you get deeper into the application form, addresses, contact details, national insurance numbers, etc., will all already be pre-populated. So as you proceed through the illustration and application form, these fields will just require your usual common sense check, rather than also require you to rekey the data into each field. And as a result of the 363 keystrokes which weren't required, you can assume approximately 15 keying errors were prevented, therefore helping retain data integrity. So let's now return to 27tec and demonstrate what the integration looks like with Fundment. Now, put simply, the process is largely consistent. So rather than opening Fundment in a new tab and rekeying data into their investment platform, you can instead open the web browser extension and visit the Actions tab. Here, you'll find the option to add a lead into Fundment. Again, as soon as you make your selection, you'll be asked to assign an advisor, and once an advisor has been assigned and you select Continue, ZeroKey will immediately start pulling all necessary data from your 27tec account for your chosen client and start pushing this data into Fundment. And as you can see, 88 characters of data have been transferred and your client has been successfully added as a lead into Fundment. From here, you can of course close ZeroKey and open your recently added lead to conduct any usual common sense checks. And as you can see, your client's name, date of birth, national insurance number, etc., have all been added without the need for any rekeying. So as a result of the 88 keystrokes which weren't required, you can again assume approximately 4 key in errors were prevented, therefore helping retain data integrity. Next, let's have a look at how you can use ZeroKey with other third-party systems, starting with Origo's Unipass Letter Authority tool. Now, when starting the LOA process, you would typically be required to rekey data into each and every field to complete stage 1. However, using ZeroKey, you can now reduce the effort down to only a single click of the mouse. Again, the process is largely consistent, whereby you'll need to open the web browser extension, double check that 27tec is selected as your source of data and that you are working on the correct client, and then visit the Actions tab. Now, whereas the previous two examples we have so far demonstrated are API connections and therefore always available, this action is only available for this specific web page. And the action populates the client details form you see on screen now. You'll have the option to either populate the form either as a single client or as a joint client, and as soon as you make your selection, ZeroKey will get to work. And there you go, 262 characters of data have been transferred from 27tec into Origo's Unipass Letter Authority tool, and the form has been populated. That's 262 keystrokes which have been eliminated, and as a result, we can assume approximately 11 key in errors were prevented, therefore helping retain data integrity. You can then conduct your usual common sense checks and proceed with the remaining stages. Next, let's demonstrate how you can move client data from 27tec into CashCalc. So, when you first log into CashCalc, you'll notice within the web browser extension that no actions are available for this specific web page. However, as you move through the systems, appropriate actions will start to appear. For example, when you view your list of existing clients, the option to add a new client becomes available. In this case, you have the option to add either a single client or a joint client, and as soon as you make your selection, ZeroKey will immediately pull all the necessary data from 27tec and add your chosen client into CashCalc. And there you go, 202 characters of data have been transferred and your clients have been successfully added. You can then select your recently added client and visit the Info tab to start adding more and more data. Notice within the web browser extension, more actions have now appeared. You can therefore decide which items of data you wish to start adding. For example, you can visit the Savings and Investments option to start adding your clients' savings and investments. In this case, add in their Hubwise Stocks and Shares ISA and also their Aviva GIA. You can then visit the Pensions option to start adding their pensions. In this case, adding their SIP from Hubwise and also their personal pension from Prudential. As such, the effort involved with adding these into CashCalc has been reduced to only a few clicks of the mouse, and in total, it has eliminated the need for 476 keystrokes. We can therefore assume approximately 20 key in errors have been prevented from entering CashCalc. This means in total, throughout this entire quickfire demonstration, ZeroKey has helped transfer over 1,100 characters of data between systems which, in its absence, would have required rekeying. That's over 1,100 keystrokes which have been eliminated, and, as a result, we can assume approximately 50 keying errors have been prevented, which in itself is vitally important for the purpose of helping retain data integrity.